Welcome to Mobility Matters, the podcast where kids take the wheel to explore how we get around our city and why it matters. We're part of the Clean Mobility Buffalo Initiative, powered by NYSERDA, working to make transportation in Buffalo cleaner, greener, and better for everybody. Each episode, we share our stories, ask big questions, and talk to the people making change, from bike lanes to buses, and from electric cars to community projects, all through our eyes as the next generation of change makers. So buckle up or hop on your bike and join us for the ride, because when it comes to our future, mobility matters.
Welcome to Mobility Matters. I'm Vi.
I'm Willa.
And I'm Bert. Today we're talking with Legislator Lawrence Dupre about how clean mobility and local laws shape the way we move in Buffalo.
Before we start, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I am very happy to be here to be interviewed by everybody here.
Yeah, we're happy to interview you too.
I've been looking forward to it. I've heard about you guys' group, so thank you for having me here today.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
Could you say your name, your official title, and your district so listeners can get it right?
Well, thank you. My name is Lawrence Dupre. I am a Erie County legislator in the 1st District, and we're in the 1st District. I tell people the easy way to remember it is it's the Lower West Side, it is downtown area, it's this part of the East Side, and then there's some South Buffalo, Lovejoy, in the Valley area. So I always tell people, take Buffalo, split it in the middle. I got the right side.
That's so cool.
First, we want to help our listeners learn more about you and what your job really looks like day to day. When people hear legislator, they picture a big meeting. What do you actually do in a normal week?
So in a normal week, I do have these meetings in these big rooms with these people in suits on, and we have to talk about budget and what we're going to do about county problems. But then I get to do things like this, a part of it. A part of it is engaging with the community and talking to the people, old and young. So that's a really big part, because this is where I get a lot of my ideas from. When I'm trying to figure out what's best for the area, what's best for the county, what are we trying to do, I get it because I get to talk to the community. So another part of my day is that I go to a lot of events, a lot of stuff that happens in the district. Something that's a very good time is the Jefferson Night Live on Friday. So every Friday for the last until the end of August, they shut the street down and they have these vendors and there's music and there's all these people. And it's a great time to talk to people. So I get to do stuff like that. I go to health fairs. So I just get to go to events to just highlight other parts of town. I may go something to a healthcare center, because last week was National Healthcare Week. So I get to do a lot of things, and I get to see a lot of the resources and the services we have, so I can make sure they have enough money to do the thing they need to do, and to make sure they're supported. A big part of things that I'm doing is showing up and showing people that they're important to the community and how I can help. Same thing I'm doing here. I think it's really important that what you guys are doing, and that I'm here to show you that we're all behind you. We just want to support you, and you know that you're making a difference in the community. So these are some of the things I get to do here.
That's amazing. I love that. One question. Why did you decide to run for office in the first place?
I decided to run for office because, so for me, for let's say the last 10 to 12 years, I've been doing a lot of community work. I've been doing a lot of stuff, from giving out food, doing clothing drives, book bag drives. And then as I kept growing, I was like, man, I really like to do this. How can I keep making it better? And then there was an opportunity where this position as a legislator was open, so I had to go through a process. And I won the process through the votes, and that's how I've been continuing to be the legislator. So it's just being involved in my community. One of the things that really made me know I needed to do something is because when my daughter was your age, I would tell her stuff like, hey, for college, you got to do some volunteer work. I want you to be in the community. And so I was like, man, if I'm making sure my daughter's doing it, I should probably be doing it too, just to show her that she's not out here alone. And that just kept growing and growing and growing. And then it was like, man, I'm really making a difference out here. I'm really helping people. And that makes you feel really good. And this is an opportunity to do it on a bigger scale.
What's something people get wrong about your job, and what's the real story?
What's something people get wrong about my job? I think one of the most confusing parts of my job is people aren't sure what we all do, because you hear about county, you hear about like a city council member, and then an Erie County legislator, and then an assemblyman, and then a senator, and then the governor. So sometimes people aren't sure what we do. So a little bit of my job is explaining to people that I'm an Erie County legislator. So it's more than just Buffalo. I do things in all of Erie County because that's the territory that I work in. So it's kind of explaining to people what I can and can't do. So something like, hey, if my neighbor comes and says, hey, they got this problem with this pothole or something, I'm like, that's not really what the county does, but I do know who can help us. So it's just explaining to people what I can do as a county legislator, the difference with somebody who works in the city can do. So I think for me, it's just explaining to people what my role is in the community.
So you, and like, also, like with doing your job, you're also helping other people, even if it's not part of your job. Like you like help them find.
Yes, I think that's one of the cool parts of my job is that I'm an Erie County legislator, but I previously worked in the city and the county in different jobs. So I know how they work pretty well. So I don't just know the top people of how stuff works. I actually am very proud that I know the people who do the work. So when somebody asks about the garbage, I know who does that. When somebody says, hey, we got a street light out, you just got to call 311. You can call different numbers and things like that is what I'm very happy to do. Like that's a big part of my job is being helpful. I never want people to worry too much about what I do. Just ask me the question and then let me help you find the thing you do. So that's something that makes me really happy where I'm able to help with it. And if I don't know it, I'll point you in the right direction.
That's really great. Like 311?
Yeah. You've never heard of 311?
No.
So 311 is actually a city of Buffalo system where, let's say, you have my tree is down, a tree fell. You can call 311 and they would be the people to come and pick it up if it's on city property. Or what if somebody forgets your garbage when the garbage man comes? What do? They're already down the street. You can call 311 and say, hey, they forgot my garbage. And then somebody will come and pick it up. Something that I use 311 for all the time is when you see street lights out. You call 311 and I say, hey, there's a street light out in front of 1336 Jefferson. Can you fix it? Then they say yes. And then they take the information down. And then it'll be fixed.
That's great.
It's a pretty good program.
Yeah. What's the hard part?
The hard part is I always want to help. In every situation, I may not be able to help like I want to. So that's a really hard part of my job because you'll see somebody like, man, I really want to help this group or this person. But sometimes I'm not always able to help just by myself or able to do what I want to do. So that's something just having to understand that I can't save everybody all the time, but I can still do my part.
Are there like any limitations to what you can and can do for helping?
I think so. The best part for me is that I don't do this alone.
Yeah.
So there may be limitations that I have as the county legislator, but that's when I have to use my friendships and relationships with my state colleagues or my city colleagues. Because to get the things fixed, it's never just one person. It's a group. Just like you guys are a group and it makes it so much better, we have to work together as a group. So let's say something big, it's a state issue. I might not be able to do that, but I can call our state representatives like our state senator, Sean Ryan, or our assemblyman, John Rivera, or our state senator, April Baskins. So we all work together to take care of these things. So just because it may not be in Erie County, I can make sure that my voice is still heard and being in a conversation with my partners.
That's great. That's really good. So what's a fun part of your job?
This is the fun part. I love talking to kids. I love talking to kids and telling them that I was in these same streets, I went to these same schools, and you have the same opportunities to be an elected official or be whatever you want. I think it's really important that kids, you guys know that there's no limit to what you can do. And that's one of the cool parts of my job is I love seeing kids, young people, and telling them, you can do this too. You can do actually anything you want to do, and you're in a great place that's going to help you be the best person you can be. So I love being a cheerleader for Buffalo and the people who live here.
That's so cool. Who do you work with to get things done?
Who do I work with to get things done? It all depends on what needs to get done, but I'll work with anybody. I work with I work with my other colleagues in Erie County Legislator, from my partner, Legislator St. Jean Tard, to our Chairman Myers. I also work with the City Council. I do events. We help to build the city up. I get funds to the city for different plans that the council members want to do. So I work hand in hand with my government partners and with other resources and things like Mobility Matters. I work with them to make sure that we can make sure if they can be funded, we make sure that people know about it. And I also, one of the other cool parts is I get to give certificates to people and tell them that Erie County recognizes them for the great job they did. I even get to celebrate people's birthdays and make announcements. So that's one of the cool parts. I really love putting the spotlight on the people who live here and making sure everybody knows how amazing and special they are.
It's great. So now we want to talk about action. How do your ideas about e-mobility turn into actual laws?
So the way it is by me making myself available and having these discussions with Mobility Matters. It's been me having meetings, them telling me what we're trying to do, and then we work towards that to make sure it can pass. So for me, it's a lot of constant talking and working on it. Because for me, the laws to come together, we sometimes have to change it up because we need agreement for everybody to agree. So we may start at one place, we may have to change it up a little bit. So that's my part in it, is of taking the ideas, because I do believe the best ideas come from my community. And we work on these ideas together, and then I help fashion them, and then we bring them to the government, and we go like that. One of my parts is that I talk to my colleagues in the legislature to tell them why this is important and get their support, so then we can pass the legislation.
Mm-hmm. We have an important question. So what does clean mobility mean to you?
Well, first to tell you, I'm very big for walkable cities, very big for biking. I have a very cool bike. And so for me, clean mobility matters is clean for the environment, and mobility matters. It's important about how we get around and how we make that work, because I think it's better for our city.
Yeah. Have you changed or sponsored anything to help clean mobility in Buffalo? And if you have, what was it? And if you have not, do you have any plans to do anything like that?
And right now, what I sponsor, I am so sorry that I have the list, but I sponsor a lot of things. And I think something that I sponsor that goes along with clean mobility is I sponsor bike programs. I know that I'm helping Go Bike and other programs like that to get the people on the bikes and doing things such that nature. I'm also, for Mobility Matters, is I make sure I'm always accessible and that I always hear what they're trying to do. So that's a big part to me, is that I want to make sure people can always call me and tell me what they need to do. So I don't just come out and say, oh, what I'm going to do for Mobility Matters. No, their voice needs to be in there. They bring to me what they've got from the community, and then we go from there. Yeah. So I like for all ideas to start with the community, and I help push them along.
Yeah, it's really important.
How do ideas become real? What are the steps?
So what are the steps are, first we come up with the idea, and then I start talking to people with effects. So I'll get an idea, something, then I got to start talking to people about how can I really make this work? What can really do? Because there's a lot of different people who I need to agree with me, from the county executive to other legislators. I want the community to agree. So I start with an idea, and then I start getting feedback from people. And I do that in many different ways, from just talking to people. People send things to my office, and then it starts to change a little bit. So we come to an agreement. So most of my ideas, I always start with an idea, but it never really finishes that way, because other people should be speaking on it. And that's how it comes. So I talk to people, I get support. And then once I get the support, then I can bring the paperwork to my job, and then we can bring it up in front of the full legislature.
How long might it take?
How long may it take? It all depends on it. It all depends on, it can take anywhere from a month to 2 years. But it all depends on what we're trying to do. Some things are a little harder than others. That takes a lot of talking. Some things are a little shorter. So it all depends on what we're trying to do.
Who exactly, you know how you said it, the people that have to go through the law for the agreements, how exactly do they have to agree with it? Do they have to do a certain role in that?
No. So when I say somebody has to agree with Go, let's say I wanted to say, hey, I want to make this new law that says all trucks over 12 feet are illegal. And then my bosses with some of my other coworkers, with my colleagues, would say something like, I don't know if 12 feet, that may be too much. Let's make it 10 feet and lower. And they're like, okay, that makes sense. And then explain why. Or then somebody might say, well, maybe we should do that, but we shouldn't do red trucks because that's a fire truck and it needs to be big. So they help me with making sure the law does what I need it to do. Because sometimes I need other people's input, because I don't know everything and I won't remember everything. So it's helpful to get the people who are experts in their field. So if I'm doing a law on, let's say, school buses, I got to bring in the people who know about school buses.
Yeah.
So I want to bring them for their expertise in it. So that's why I can take long or short depending on what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so everyone has to agree on the law, so it's fair.
Yes, because for a law to pass, we have to have a majority agreement. So that means I have to get more people than not to agree with me. So sometimes that means I might have to tweak it and change it. But for me, that's what democracy is. Democracy is having ideas and working together to come to an ending idea. You shouldn't be doing this to say this is my way or the highway. No, people need to have an input. That's why when the community will bring something to me, I may go, okay, that's a great idea, but I might need to tweak it a little bit this way to make sure it covers everything. Because it's also important that when I'm doing stuff, I want to make sure everybody's included. I don't want to make a law that it excludes people, because it's important that everybody's included in the thing. Everybody feels like they're getting something from it. So that's why I was talk to other people to go, hey, do you guys think this will work for you? Is this something you're comfortable with? So that's why I need agreement, because it's better going in with the group. You don't want to just be out here saying it's my way or the highway and I'm going to do what I want. That's not what we want in our community. We want people to work together.
Yeah.
Who do you listen to when you're making decisions? Bus rides, kids, neighborhood groups, and when did someone's feedback change your mind?
So I listen to everybody, because you're in my community and your voice should be heard. That's how that's decided. So if I could be anywhere, I could be after this interview, you might have a great idea and you'd say, hey, Lawrence, I want to tell you about this great idea. And I would listen. So I feel like when I get ideas, it's not that people change it. It's that people may give me a better way to do something, or help me see there could be a problem down the road, or say, hey, well, or somebody could tell me, well, maybe you should talk to this person. They're expert in it. So things like that. That is what they help me do. I'm always feel like they're helping me to make it better. And that happens all the time, because I feel like I have these ideas, but I know I always need help with it. I have these big ideas and I want to do this, but then I need to talk to the people. If I have an idea about how I want to help firemen, I got this idea, but I now need to go talk to the firemen, because I need to know what they feel about it, because it's not just what I think. I need to make sure they're comfortable with it.
How can kids share ideas so that they're heard? Because a lot of times adults will just think they're just a kid.
No, and I think by saying things just like you did, by reminding us that you still have a voice. So for me, I tell kids, you can tell me ideas because you see me at kid events. You see me at the park for kids' days, community days. I'm out, and I'm always looking to engage and talk to people. So I feel as a kid, it's just like I tell an adult. You just got to go up there and say it. Be confident and advocate for yourself. You go up there and say, hey, Lawrence, I'm Larry. I want to tell you an idea. It should be that easy.
How do you know if one of your projects is working?
I know my projects are working from the community. That's who tells me if it's working or not, because that's the whole point of what I do. So I can have the best idea, but if the community doesn't feel like it's making the change it needs to, I think that means that wasn't a very good idea. So that's why I'm always willing to listen to people and talk, because it's important that the idea works. But that's how I would find out, by what the community tells back to me. And a lot of times I can see it. If I make a new program to say, hey, I want to make a new program for kids to go paint cars, and nobody shows up, that meant I may not have done a good job with that. Maybe I should have talked to some other people or talked to some kids to know if that's even what they wanted to do.
Yeah, so it really relies on the community.
Yes, they are a big part of this. For us to grow and be better, it takes us all. It takes a village.
Looking ahead, what's one big move you want to see Buffalo make for clean, safe transportation?
I think Buffalo has plans to invest in the infrastructure. Something that I'm always looking for is more bike lanes, wider streets. I don't know if the wider streets will happen anytime soon, because those are expensive, but bike lanes and making it safe for people. I would like to see more things to make it safe, more lighting on the streets and things like that. Because it's for us to get people out in the streets and for clean mobility, we need to make it safe. So I'm all about making sure it is safe for people to get around.
Who needs to be on the team?
The community. I need the community. I need you guys. I need your parents. I need the people in the community who are going to be affected by this, and that's everybody. So, because I believe that we're going to figure this out as a community. So I'm always wanting more people in the community to be involved.
Yeah. How can kids and families get involved?
I feel like the best way kids and families can get involved is by you can call your local electeds and also showing up. So for me, things such as if somebody said, hey, how do I talk to Lawrence? I want to tell him something. I would say, hey, this Saturday, I'm having a book bag giveaway at Central Terminal, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come and visit me and tell me. Or you can email me. I have social media like Facebook or Instagram. So there's many different ways. And I tell people, just call my office. I'm also very accessible. My office is actually at Fillmore and Utica, right at where the light at. If you just look up, you'll see my sign. So I would always say, go out to the community events because as an elected official, we should be out there interacting with the community.
Yeah. All right, so next we're going to do this thing. It's a speed round. So basically, we're going to ask you a few questions and then you just answer with whatever pops up in your head. All right. Bus, bike, or walk for a short trip?
Walk.
Favorite Buffalo route or trail?
Favorite Buffalo what?
Route or trail?
Favorite Buffalo Trail, I think I'm just going to have to say I like Delaware Park by the Japanese Gardens. Right behind the Science Museum.
Best post-meeting snack?
I think a perfect peanut butter bar. A perfect peanut butter bar.
Dream smart city feature you wish that we had?
That's a hard one. What are some options? You got to help me get them down because I have too many in my mind right now.
Well, we made a bunch of ideas up with for an activity we did. So we had like magnetic trains. We made like obviously we have like the e-vehicle,
Electronic jetpack.
like hoverboards, like just like stuff that's like
Flying hoverboards that actually have.
See, I'm going to ask you guys. You had way cooler ideas. I'm going with the jetpack. It's a great idea.
Where should people go to learn more or to get involved?
I would say to get involved, get involved with what I'm doing, I would just say check my social medias, go on Facebook. You can call my office or stop it. Or just come and see me when you see me in the community. So are we almost done? Because I have something I have for you guys.
Yeah. Legislator Dupree, thanks for joining us on Mobility Matters.
Well, thank you for having me, but I have one last thing for you guys. I think what you guys are doing is super awesome. So I really wanted to present you all something. I want to present you from the legislature of the county of Erie in recognition of the Mobility Matters Youth Podcast Program, part of Clean Mobility Buffalo. And this is for you guys. And this is from, whereas Erie County is committed to fostering innovation in transportation, uplifting youth voices, and promoting environmental justice as part of our broader mission to serve all residents equally. I will not read through everything, but I'll finish the bottom for you. Resolved, this honorable body do hereby recognize the extraordinary efforts of the Mobility Matters Youth Podcast Program, that is you three, and proclaim August 13th, 2025 as Mobility Matters Day, and encourage all residents to celebrate the achievements of these young storytellers and support ongoing efforts to build a cleaner, more connected, and more equitable future for all. So just in case you didn't hear, August 13th, today, Mobility Matters Day. It's set for by Erie County Legislature. And I want to bring this for you, so thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for the official day.
Yes, you're very welcome. You guys deserve it. And this is also the coolest part of my job when you ask me. This is it. This is it. So thank you all so much.
Thanks for riding along with us on Mobility Matters. We hope today's episode got you thinking about how we can all move toward a cleaner, fairer, and more connected Buffalo. This podcast is part of the Clean Mobility Buffalo initiative, made possible with support from NYSERDA, and powered by kids like us, who believe our voices and choices can shape the future. Got ideas, stories, or questions? Share them with us. We'd love to hear them. Until next time, keep moving forward, because when it comes to our future, mobility matters.